What if I told you that a weekend project, something built in just 1 hour, could trigger a multi-billion-dollar bidding war between the absolute giants of tech? I mean, this isn't some hypothetical classroom question. This is the real story of how one single developer accidentally redrew the entire map for the future of AI. It's about how a single hire became the most critical move in the whole race for AI dominance. Let's set the scene. The date is February 18th, 2026, and the tech landscape has just been, well, it's been permanently altered. And look, this isn't about some new supercomputer or a fancy new algorithm. This is about a person. This is the exact moment OpenAI landed the single most sought-after engineer on the planet, and in doing so marked a decisive turning point in the battle for what comes next in artificial intelligence. So let's get right to it. The person at the very center of this whole storm is an Austrian engineer named Peter Steinberger. His creation, which we now know as OpenClaw, has become the new frontline in what everyone in Silicon Valley is calling the agent war. And that's this brutal struggle to control the AI that doesn't just talk to you, but actually acts for you. So by hiring him, OpenAI didn't just get a brilliant engineer. No, they got an entire ecosystem, a super passionate community, and a direct line to thousands of the most dedicated users out there. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. OpenAI's own CEO, Sam Altman, spelled out the whole strategy in plain sight. This quote, "This isn't just corporate jargon. It's a declaration of a brand new era." See, the race isn't just about who has the smartest AI model anymore. It's about who can deploy an army of AI agents to go out and do useful things in the real world. And with this one hire, they really believe they've just found their 5-star general. But how on earth did we even get here? I mean, really, how did a single developer's little side project, built in about an hour, become the most strategic asset in the entire tech world? Well, to understand the heist, you first have to understand the accidental phenomenon that started this whole fire. Right, so Peter Steinberger is not your average coder, tinkering in a basement. This guy is a veteran builder. He spent a decade building a massive company, PS-PDF Kit. But after all that success, he was just completely burned out. And it was from that place, back in November of 2025, that he built the very first version of Clawdbot. It wasn't meant to be a business. It was just a tool to fix his own digital mess, a 1-hour prototype that was literally born from pure personal frustration. And this is the core concept we really need to get our heads around: agentic AI. We're all used to chatbots, right? You ask a question, you get an answer. This is profoundly different. This is AI with hands. Imagine an assistant that doesn't just tell you how to check in for your flight. Imagine it actually goes into your email, finds the confirmation, opens the airline's website, fills in all your info, and then texts the boarding pass to your phone. It's the leap from AI that talks to AI that does. The response to his little project was, well, it was nothing short of nuclear. Within just a few weeks, it absolutely exploded on GitHub, becoming the fastest growing project in the platform's history. But the impact wasn't just digital. It had a real-world physical effect. It literally triggered global shortages of Mac Minis because thousands of people were rushing out to buy them to set up their own 24/7 personal AI employees. Think about that. One person's code literally disrupted Apple's global supply chain. It's insane. Okay, now let's dive into the central conflict of this story, because this is just a masterclass in what not to do. The incredible, almost unbelievable irony here is that the tool that would become OpenAI's greatest new weapon was originally built to empower their biggest rival, Anthropic. You see, from the very beginning, this thing was a Claude-first project. The original name, Clawdbot, and its little lobster mascot, Claude, it was all a direct nod to Anthropic's AI, Claude. This thing was basically a free, viral marketing campaign for them. It was a massive user pipeline, driving thousands upon thousands of users to go pay for Anthropic's best models to power their new agents. It was an absolute gift, just laid right at their doorstep. And this is the exact moment where it all went so wrong for Anthropic. Instead of embracing this incredible, organic movement, they chose the legal path. They didn't see a monumental strategic opportunity. They saw a potential trademark issue. It was a classic culture clash, right? You have a builder's open source spirit crashing right into a corporation's risk-averse legal team. Where they could have sent partners, they sent lawyers. It was a huge, huge mistake. And what followed was just pure, unadulterated chaos. On January 27th, after getting the legal notice, Steinberger complied immediately. He rebranded the whole project to Moltbot during a 5 a.m. Discord call. But in the few seconds the old username was free, crypto scammers jumped in, hijacked it, and launched a fraudulent token. Just 3 days later, he was forced to rebrand again to OpenClaw, basically just to stop the bleeding and protect his community. This quote right here, it just grounds the whole ordeal. This wasn't some corporate chess match for Steinberger. This was his passion project, and it was spiraling into an absolute nightmare. He's a builder. He wanted to create things, not get bogged down in legal fights. And that immense pressure, which was largely kicked off by Anthropic's actions, is what blew the door wide open for their competitors to just walk right in. So, with Anthropic completely fumbling its massive advantage, the other giants of tech saw their chance. This whole thing wasn't just about code anymore. It was about community, it was about momentum, and it was about the one thing that every tech company craves more than anything else: distribution to real, actual users. And just like that, a bidding war erupted. You had Meta's Mark Zuckerberg getting personally involved, even giving direct feedback on the code. But OpenAI offered something more. They offered a strategic home and the promise of massive distribution. But here's the most important part, the real kicker. OpenAI agreed to Steinberger's one non-negotiable term. The project had to stay open source, protected by a foundation forever.
So let's zoom out. Why does this one story matter so much? Because it signals 4 huge shifts in the industry. First, the main battleground is no longer about who has the best model. It's about who has the best agents, the doers. Second, a passionate open source community isn't just a nice to have, it's a powerful strategic weapon. Third, getting your tech into the hands of millions is the ultimate prize. And finally, and this is a big one, having a product people are desperate to use, even if it's a little messy, is way more valuable than perfectly polished code that nobody actually wants.
And this all brings us to the final and most critical question for every single one of us. This tech is not theoretical anymore. We are standing on the verge of giving AI agents the keys to our entire digital kingdom: our emails, our bank accounts, our private files. This story just shows how fast the ground is shifting beneath our feet. So the only question left to ask is, when your personal AI agent is finally ready, who are you going to trust to hold the keys?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.